824 with the Big Ticket Morning Show with Jazzy McBee on V103, the ATL's number one for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Jazzy.
Yes.
Very excited to have Geoffrey Owens joining us this morning. I know it sounds familiar.
Man.
I know it's like, I know that name. You remember Elvin from The Cosby Show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. One of my favorites.
Absolutely. How are you, sir?
I'm well.
How's everything?
Here. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Glad you made it around the corner.
All right. Literally.
Joke there, folks.
Yeah.
He is in a movie that comes out tomorrow in theaters. Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza,
Yes.
releases in theaters tomorrow. Tell me a little bit about this movie, and you're Santa?
Yes, well, I'm not gonna give that away exactly.
okay.
I am Mr. Santa.
Mr.
Okay.
Santa.
Whether or not I am truly Santa Claus, y'all have to come and find out.
Aha.
That's a little bit of a mystery in the movie, right?
Okay.
But I play a character named Mr. Santa,
Right.
who helps a group of high school students regain their Christmas spirit and put on their Christmas production. It's really a film about young people. It's about young people, which is kind of cool because I can't think of another Christmas movie that's about a group of high school students like this. Like, usually Christmas movies are about older people, usually in love at Christmas time, or elves, right? But so this is unique,
Okay.
and definitely worth seeing. It's a very family friendly. Actually, that's an understatement to say it's family friendly. It's family embracing.
Yeah.
It's a great family film.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was at the premiere last night, so I had of course I was. I can't give a lot away, but it has a little comedic factor in it too. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. It has comedy, but it also has, as you saw, it has some very serious stuff.
Absolutely, it did. It did. Yeah.
Now, Yandy and Eris performed last night, right?
Yandy and Eris performed.
Okay.
And, Eris always
We love Eris.
Oh my gosh, I love that little girl. I love
Eris
her.
to the throne.
Yeah, man, I love her. Tiny was there. T.I. showed up. Of course, Yandy, she sang, and then
Right.
the DC's was there. Her family was there, so it was a lot of people there. It was
It was
packed.
a big crowd.
Yeah, it was a huge crowd. So, and then we had a chance to take some pictures with the Santa displays on the red carpet. So it was cute. I like it.
Nice little thing. So when people go see this when it's in theaters tomorrow, when they leave the theater, what will they have gathered?
Well, I think they're gonna feel really good. There's a lot of music, there's dancing, there's a lot of family stuff in it. But I mean, I think what they're going to take away is the spirit of togetherness, unity. It's really a film about faith versus cynicism. I hate to get too deep philosophical about it, but really it's the battle between having faith and belief in something and cynicism and sarcasm. Like, half the kids are cynical and sarcastic, half the kids believe, want to believe in Santa Claus and want to do the show and stuff like that. So, and guess what wins out? The good wins out. The belief and the faith wins out.
Right.
So it's a fun film, but it's got a serious message in a way.
Again, it's in theaters tomorrow. It stars our brother Geoffrey Owens. Tommy Davidson's in the movie.
Tommy Davidson.
Shout out to Tommy. I love Tommy Davidson.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he was here. We did an interview with him. Oh my
cool.
gosh,
Good.
I love
Crazy.
Tommy.
He's wonderful in this film.
Absolutely. Wakeem Mahal is also produced by our girl Yandy. She's one of the producers on the movie.
Hey, Yandy.
The film and soundtrack features original holiday music from Kenny Lattimore and Yandy Smith. I guess that's what she performed last night.
Right.
Okay, I like it. Geoffrey Owens is our guest this morning. Again, the movie is called Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza. It's in theaters tomorrow, December 6th. We got more with him. I got questions, Geoffrey.
All right.
We ain't talked to you in a while. We're very happy to see you.
Hey.
So we're going to talk to Geoffrey Owens.
it on.
Come get more of this with me and McBee right here on the People Station V103. 845, Big Chicken Morning Show with Jazzy McBee on V103, the ATL's number one for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Happy holidays and happy Throwback Thursday, December 5th, on our way back to a high of 53 degrees this morning. Geoffrey Owens is our guest this morning. Good to see you, sir.
Oh, good to be here.
Lots of people will remember him as Elvin from The Cosby Show, which is a show that we all grew up on.
Of course.
The world grew up on. What was it like just living in that moment, or or just being a part of that as it transpired?
I'm not sure. I was too young to know. You know, they say things are wasted on the young.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
It was like my first television job, and I had no idea what I was walking into. When I joined the show, I didn't know anything about the show. I'd never watched it. I didn't know what the characters' names were, who the actors were.
Really?
Wow.
Nothing. I walked in like my character Elvin walked in, like just clueless. You know what I mean? And also, I never paid attention to any of the hype around the show.
Okay.
You know, I was, kind of serious New York actor. I was a theater actor, so I didn't care about television ratings and stuff. I never paid any attention to it. So a lot of the time that I was on the show, it was like I wasn't really, I came in and out to do episodes, but I wasn't really in that world as much as a lot of the other guys were. I was part of the family, but I was kind of on the periphery of it. You know what I mean? But it was definitely, I was aware that I had a very successful job on a very successful show. Right. But I didn't let it really affect my life too much. I was a theater actor, always doing theater, especially Shakespeare and stuff like that. But no, it was a great gig. I mean, it's the best gig I've ever had to this day. I came out of the gate running, It's like I've never had a job that good since.
So some years back, I guess there was some discovery that you were working at a grocery store.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
People were concerned, or I don't know if they really were concerned, but they were surprised that someone who had worked on The Cosby Show, someone who had been, to their appearance, so successful, would be working what people would call a regular job.
Right.
And then there was this whole thing about save Elvin.
Save Elvin.
Oh, no. What was your reaction like to that?
Well, it was mostly good, because at first there was some negative stuff about, basically the shaming, the job shaming thing, like, look, where is he now, kind of thing. So that was a little bit, but then very soon after that, there was all this support and encouragement from all over the world. Like, everybody was chiming in a positive way, encouraging me and supporting me and giving me work. Tyler Perry, mostly, and eventually 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Nicki Minaj sent me money.
Yeah, I heard she sent you like I don't want to count your pockets, but it was a lot of money.
She sent me $25,000.
Right. So,
nice.
So I heard that you gave it to a charity.
I did give it to a
Why
charity.
you give that money to a charity?
You know what? I don't know.
Next time.
It's like now I'm like,
why did you do that?
I contacted the charity last week to ask for it. They had used it already. No. You know what it was? It was like, at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do.
What?
At the time. Listen, if Nicki Minaj had hired me,
if
she had paid me $25,000 to do something, right? I would have said, thank you for the work. Thank you, I accept, right? But somehow and by the way, this is not to say that what she did was inappropriate or I'm not grateful for it. It was a lovely, incredible gesture. But at the time, it felt like just being given that money just as a gift just didn't seem right to keep it. I felt like, I'm in need to a certain extent, but there are other people that are much more in need of this money than I am.
Okay.
I was perfectly willing to accept the work, the work that Tyler gave me, the work other people gave me, and but just being gifted that money as charity, at the time it just didn't feel right.
Was it like you felt like it was maybe a handout kind of?
Yes.
Sort of?
Now, by saying that, if Nicki Minaj is listening, she's I don't want her.
She's gonna see it. No,
but it was a handout.
Right.
It was a very generous, lovely handout. But I wasn't comfortable with that. As I said, if she'd said, here's $25,000, put on the show or just, whatever. Yeah, thank you very much. But anyway, it was a weird time. It was a very strange time.
Yeah, that's weird.
For 2 weeks or more, I was like one of the most famous people in the world.
Man,
like, I was trending.
You
like
were
crazy.
trending like crazy.
But that was
anywhere without being like I was used to that to a certain extent from being on the Cosby Show years before. But this was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. Everywhere I went, people recognized me. People said something to me, nice things, not good things.
Right.
Complimented me or encouraged me about my working and stuff like that. It was actually a really lovely thing that led to more work opportunities and stuff.
Good for you.
So yeah, it was It was good.
Now, did you have to quit soon after you went viral?
I quit Trader Joe's actually before the news hit.
Did
Okay.
you really?
Yeah, I anticipate because it was when it first happened. It was strange because someone had been in the store taking pictures. That's what happened, right?
That same person?
Someone came in and took pictures of me, and I was like, well, now that this is breaking,
Right.
I'm not going to feel comfortable working in this store, wondering if this customer, wondering who's around with a camera, it's going to be just too
Okay,
weird.
got you.
I'm a very private person, I don't want to be doing my job thinking that every other person might be having a camera taking pictures.
Right.
Got you.
So I quit. It wasn't like I quit knowing that I was going to be making a lot of money soon or anything. I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to handle that kind of scrutiny, that kind of attack on my privacy, basically.
But see, look at God.
Look at him.
But Trader Joe's was a wonderful job. I got to give a shout out to those guys. It's a wonderful place to work.
Nice.
Okay.
And in fact, to be honest, I've gone back there since.
Oh, you
all this
have?
happened. Yeah.
Really?
And basically, I asked for hours to work there again. Because let me make this clear to everyone listening. Even today, right now as we speak, I still struggle to make a living.
Oh.
I struggle every day to make my ends meet. And people can't get their heads around that because they see me in movies, whether it's Mr. Santa or, and I'm on Papa's House on CBS,
Right.
or, all TV shows I've done and all that stuff. People have the impression that, well, you're making a lot of money. What's the problem? Why would you have financial troubles?
Yeah.
They don't understand the specifics of how my industry works.
Right.
They don't understand the salaries, the pay scales.
Well,
the
A lot of people would
individual-
imagine that you had those wonderful residual checks on the Cosby Show.
Right, which were never particularly wonderful for me.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Remember, because I was not.
You were
on-
here and there.
I was here and there,
Okay.
right? I did maybe 20% of the shows.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Plus, the show went off away
did.
for a
It
while
did.
because of what happened with Bill.
Right.
So all that was gone. People have a false, impression of what the average, what I call
Actor.
middle class actor makes,
Right.
and their ability to make a living in the industry. So that's what drove me to work at Trader Joe's to begin with. But I, honestly, I'm not much better off now than I was
Really?
then.
Really? You need to call
Even
Nikki
with
tell you get that money back.
Don't tell Nikki. Don't
Nikki!
And listen,
You
I'm
just
not-
wanna work.
I'm not
Yeah, just
complaining.
wanna work,
I'm not
yeah,
complaining. I'm
yeah.
grateful for the work I have.
Right.
Your humbleness.
I work more than a lot of people do,
Right.
right? So I got to keep perspective. But the fact is, I struggle every day
Wow.
to make my ends. I have certain expenses. No one has to know what they are, but everyone has expenses.
Right, exactly.
Everyone has needs and stuff like that. So it's tough. I'm just saying, when people say, oh, you must be making. People see me on the subway. They're like, "What are you doing on the subway?" I'm like, "What do you,
Like,
what do you think?
yeah.
What do you expect? I ride the subway and the bus in New York all the time. I don't.
Just
I
what
don't
it
have
is.
a limo driver driving me around. And
What,
stuff
what
like
advice
that,
did you have for your son? Because it's my understanding he's an actor
My
as well.
son is an actor now
Okay.
too. Well, I've given him a lot of advice. The biggest advice I gave him was that don't go into this business unless you really love it. Really, and he loves it. He loves it, and he works really hard. Like, I remember the day he told me I want to be an actor. It wasn't about 4 years ago. He was a basketball player.
Okay,
He was a D1 player in college.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he was a great ball player. But at some point he realized, I think he sensed he wasn't going to go the distance he wanted to go with it. And so, I remember standing in our kitchen one day. I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, Dad, I want to be an actor. It's like,
Oh, no.
he had never been interested in it before growing up. Never any interest in it before. So I was like, I took a deep breath. It's like, okay, well, let's see what we're going to do.
Okay.
And what I wanted to see how serious he was going to be
Right.
about it. Well, it turns out he is so dedicated, so serious, so disciplined, more disciplined than I ever was.
Okay.
I mean, really hardworking, serious work ethic. He took the work ethic he had for basketball,
Okay.
which was crazy work ethic for practice and stuff, and he brought that into acting.
Amazing.
And he's doing very well. He's had had, he's worked. He's working on a film right now. He's done 2 television jobs recently. So he's doing great. He's also a painter.
Okay.
He's
nice.
also a model.
Thespian.
He's a thespian.
I love it.
I know we're not supposed to curse on it.
No, don't do
He's a
that.
thespian.
Okay, good. So,
Y'all look that up. But,
so
that's a
listen.
joke in the movie, actually. Someone makes a joke about thespian.
Thespian.
That's a word for an actor.
Well, Geoffrey, we appreciate you calling up
do.
this morning. Please go see Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza in theaters tomorrow. You'll see him in it. You'll see Tommy Davidson in it. Produced by Yandy. It's to be a thing. Happy holidays to you and your family, sir. Thank you for coming this morning. It's been a good conversation.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Nice to be here.
Go see my brother Geoffrey Owens again in Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza in theaters tomorrow at 8:55. Back with more Me and McB on the People Station V103.